Hi everybody, Pastor Anthony back here for a special message today. This is something that I preached a few weeks ago, and I got a lot of feedback that I thought was important. It was a good reminder for people, so I thought I would share with you all today this message. If you see my shirt, it's a pretty odd looking shirt. It's got a skull with bones through it, and it's got a little, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a little hourglass right there. And it has a Latin phrase which says Memento Mori. Now, Memento Mori is something that's been around for ages, and it has inspired various paintings that I'm going to share with you in a second. But the gist, the meaning of Memento Mori is this: remember that you will die.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I know, that sounds a little bit morbid, but the point of Memento Mori is not morbidity. It's not to get you down. It's actually to serve as a reminder that we all have a very limited time here on earth. That's why you see the skull and crossbones, but underneath it you see the little hourglass, that time is constantly running. You remember the painting that I referred to earlier. This phrase has inspired countless people. One of them is a French painter by the name of Philippe D Champagne, and it's a pretty popular painting referring to Memento Mori. And in the painting, it's got three things in it. It's got a tulip, it has a skull, and it has an hourglass. And what he tried to do is he tried to put all the major components of life. So in other words, the tulip represents life, the skull represents death, and the hourglass represents time. Now, think of those things for a second. You have your life, you have death, and you have the hourglass, time. That's what you do with the time you have here on earth. The book of James actually talks about this concept. In James chapter 4, it says, "You do not know what your life will be like tomorrow. You are just like a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away." What James is saying is that life is frail. Life passes us by. There's an old saying that says that the days are long, but the years are fast. And it's true. If you're watching this video, it's already August of 2020. And life just doesn't stop. You know, the seasons buzz by us. It's summer, but right next is going to be fall, and then right after that is going to be winter, and then it'll start all over again. And James is reminding us that life is frail. It's frail. It's like a vapor, or in other Bible translations, he says it's like a mist. And so our life has a tendency to pass by very quickly, and Memento Mori is a reminder for us to live our life to the fullest. And this isn't some feel-good message. This isn't to live your life to serve you. It's to remind you to live your life to the fullest in service for the kingdom of God. Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom and my righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." That's Matthew 6:33. The missionary C.T. Studd picked up on this, and he penned a very powerful poem that goes like this. Two little lines I heard one day, traveling along life's busy way, bringing conviction to my heart, and from my mind would not depart. Only one life will soon be past. Only what's done for Christ will last. So, think about this for a second. That phrase, Memento Mori, I told you it has inspired many in the past. But there's a story that I heard connected to this that's extremely powerful. Back in the Roman days, when the Roman Empire was at its peak, whenever a general would be triumphant in war, in significant wars, they would have a parade, and this parade would last for days, and it was probably nothing like you and I have ever seen before. And this general was treated like a god. He would sit in a chariot, and people would adore him, people would enjoy themselves. But one of the things that's absolutely fascinating is what they did is they would put a servant in the back of his chariot. And that servant had one job, And that job was every so often to whisper these words in the Roman triumphant's ears. Memento Mori. Memento Mori. And when he did that, it was to keep the general humble. It was to remind him that in light of all of his glory, that one day he's going to breathe his last. Memento Mori, friends. You have only one life to live for Christ, so let it be a glorious life. Let it be a triumphant life. And as Jesus said, seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness. Notice the emphasis is on his kingdom and his righteousness. And then all these things will be added unto you. All right, we started off with Memento Mori, but there's another Latin phrase I'd like to leave you with, and that is tempus fugit. And if you Google that, that literally means time flies. So here in the beginning of this little message, this reminder is a Latin phrase, Memento Mori, remember that you will die. And then at the end of that is tempus fugit, which means time flies. What do I want you to do with this message? I want you to take inventory of your life. I want you to reflect on your life and see if you are living in light of God's will for your life. Well, this message hit me pretty hard when I preached it a few weeks ago. It's something that I got a lot of feedback with. That's why I'm sharing it with all of you. If you've been blessed by this message and if you've enjoyed it, I would just ask, click the subscribe button. We send out information like this quite a bit. And also, if you want to interact, we love when you write in the comments. So if you feel inspired to write a comment, leave one below, and I promise you either Seth or I will get back to you. God bless, and looking forward to next week.